Intuitive Thoughts on March 6th, 2025, and it's currently 11:11, so it's a lucky number. So let's hope that this sticks and let's hope that this lasts. A few things that I saw was light the candle, or light a candle. Every day I light a candle. It started with the fact that my daughter gave me a real pretty beeswax candle, and she said that she was afraid to burn it and she didn't know what to do with it, so I took it because I'm going to burn it. Light the candle. Light a candle every day. There is something that happens when you light a flame. It does send out something into the universe. It comes in many, many forms. And so, I mean, think about how people light a candle when they're thinking a prayer, or they light a candle for a ceremony. Light a candle. Light a candle on your desk. Light a candle in your house. Light a candle. Just make sure it's safe. Another thing I saw was smoke, very heavy smoke. In fact, I even woke up to a very foggy day. And I keep seeing smoke, and the word smoke, you need to see through the smoke. That's important. That's going to matter. There's a lot of stuff going on that is just creating a distraction. Look through the smoke. You have to look through the smoke. Hold still, exhale, and release. I heard that when I was driving this morning, and I was listening to music, and I had a coworker in the car with me. Hold still, exhale, and release. That reminds me of what my grandfather used to teach me. He used to take me out to shoot a bow, and it reminds me of how I felt when I would try and get a better aim. And I think this has to do with aiming more than it does with the shooting of something, but I'm not positive. So hold on to that. You want to remember, hold still, exhale, and then release. And I think that has to do with better aim. And that, along with the smoke and looking through the smoke and lighting a candle, it all kind of makes sense when you put it all together. I want to repeat two things that I still keep seeing, and it still matters. So wait until you see the whites of their eyes. That's important because we're also still bracing for impact. We haven't hit yet. Put that seatbelt on. It's still coming, but you got to remember, if you're braced for the impact, once it happens, you're going to be able to get out of that seat and do something. And we want to wait until we see the whites of their eyes. Another thing I heard was, did I do that from Urkel? And as soon as I heard it, I stopped to think for a second and kind of tapped into that energy. And it's all about the insider trading. Like, this is when you've caused the market to do what it is that it's doing. You can't be accused of insider trading when it's not that you knew that it was going to go exactly the way it was, but if you have an anticipation that what you're going to do is going to cause that, and then all of a sudden you're able to make a shit ton of money on the damage that you've caused. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kind of investigation into that, but I'm hearing that the response to that is, did I do that? It's a real thing. Don't knee jump. I mean, don't knee jerk. Don't start selling off all your stocks, because it's a temporary flux and it was intentional, and they did this just to scare the market and to try and make money off of it. It's all a game. People need to learn from their own consequences. You can't teach a teenager who thinks they know it all. We're living in a very young country. We are not anywhere near as experienced in this whole game of life as you would think that we should be at this point. We're only 300 years old. You have to remember that there is a lot of growth still to come. There's a lot more history repeating itself that's going to happen before people actually learn that history repeats itself. And also keep in mind that sometimes it takes a very drunk teenager and a very bad hangover for them to learn what their limits are. And we're still drinking. And so we've been warned. We're the parents that are warning, don't do this. This is not going to be a good idea. You're going to regret this tomorrow. But until that teenager wakes up the next day with a horrible hangover, you're just wasting your breath. You can't teach a teenager who thinks they know it all. And then I have one last thing before I go, because it's already getting long. Stop building the puzzle based on what you want the picture to look like. Sometimes a dark piece of the puzzle is actually a pupil and not a shadow. And sometimes the green that you see isn't the tree, the top of the tree and the leaves. Sometimes it's the grass. Stop trying to build the puzzle based on what you want it to look like. We don't have the lid to the puzzle to go by. All we have are the different colors that are laid out in front of us and all these different intuitives that are giving you all these different puzzle pieces to work with. And we have to put them together and we have to work together to try and find a solution to this. And we need to hold still so that we can release once we've done hitting the impact. Buckle up, babies. We still got more to go.